Shakedown. It's nice to meet you guys.
That's right, just what he said. Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown. Damn, son. That gets you moving. I like that sound quite a bit. I've got shades of Eric Sardinas with you on this bad boy right now.
I love Eric. He's great.
I'll bet. Have you got to jam with him at all?
No, but we're actually doing a show with him coming up in a month or so, yeah.
Tell me you've seen the guy before.
Oh, yeah. I saw him opening up for Johnny Winter. I'm a massive Johnny Winter fan, so I'm sure you guys...
Yeah, we couldn't
looks like
tell,
we got some
right?
Johnny Winter fans in here. Yeah.
You could put National inside every single one of your songs, too. So that's from the new one, Wild Child?
Yeah, that's from Wild Child. That's the first single, Last One Leaving.
Very cool. And also, you know, I was checking out to your website, and I was going through all the songs on that album, too. There's a lot of it that speaks of where you're at right now, isn't there?
Yeah, you know, I mean, we're young. We make our living driving around the country, playing anywhere that people will come sit and listen to us, even if they don't know who we are. You know, we're just having the time of our lives, and, you know, we felt like we could do our sad, sappy record later on in life, and we wanted to make a record about being young and having fun. So.
Well, that's what old age is all about, is sappiness and...
You know?
So, trust me on that, man. But good for you on where you're at. The journey that you're on right now, what's the coolest part about it? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel, the new album, being able to tour the country. What is the coolest thing that's going on right now in your life?
Oh, man. Well, the fact that we have a full-length album out. You know, I mean, that's something that you dream of as a kid, especially... You know, we're all just obsessed with music. That's why we do this. And to actually hold a vinyl in our hand with songs that we made, it's like a little baby that we birthed, you know? And just hold it and look at it and go, oh, you're really pretty. And then it keeps you up all night because it won't stop screaming, you know, just turn it up. And it's not like we created a record and we're out playing live. It's just like we're living the dream, so.
So who was it? Who was your badass guitar god, man, growing up? Who were the guys?
Oh, man, my favorite personally was Jeff Beck. Yeah.
And let's go that a little bit farther, because I was talking backstage with Tyler, and he was telling me that the only other time you were in Portland was...
Yeah, I played Arlene Schnitzer.
That's it?
I remember the name of that, because I Googled it before I came here. But I was there with Jeff Beck. I don't really know when. I was there, though. Yeah. So.
Well, that's great.
Were any of you guys at that show by chance? Yeah. Oh, it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, I know. The rest of them from Cell 9, right?
Yeah.
So explain to us who we've got here for the Shakedown.
Yeah, we've got Graham Whitford over here on the guitar.
Very cool. How you doing?
I met Graham in New York City, and I was at a radio interview, and he came in, and he had long hair and his guitar on his back, and someone introduced him to me as the dude that was going to put me out of a job, so I immediately didn't like him. And then he pulled his guitar out, and he started playing, and we've been best buds ever since. He was going to Berkeley, and I convinced him that they couldn't teach him what he needed to know. That he just needed to join my band and go on the road. So I convinced him to move to Nashville. Sorry, Miss Whitford. Yeah. And he joined the Shakedown. So
very cool. Yes.
Graham Whitford. And then I moved to Nashville when I was 17. I wanted to start a band. And, you know, it's like before you build a house, you got to lay the foundation. And that's Caleb. And he was the first drummer I met in Nashville. I didn't play with anybody else. He was the first dude I met in Nashville. I just wanted a friend. Right. And we've been best buds ever since. And coolest drummer I know. We like all the same bands. And yeah. And then over here on my left, Mr. Noah Denny, the newest addition. And when Caleb and I started the band, we had a guy that was playing with us for about 3 years. And he went on to do other things, like get married, and things like that I don't really know how well that works out at the stage that we're in, where you're never in one place more than a few hours. And so we auditioned a ton of bass players just looking for a guy who had that thing. You know, in Nashville, everyone can play, and everyone's awesome. But guys would come in, and it would be too perfect. And Noah came in, and he just didn't care. And I was like, I like this guy. And he was getting sounds out of his bass that I never heard, going, he's getting more feedback than me. This is good.
Sometimes it ain't rock and roll if you care too much, right?
I know. So it's Noah Denny on the bass guitar.
Very cool. So who brought the love of music for you into your life? Was it parents? Was it a older brother? Or?
Well, you know, my parents, they never really listened to a lot of music. I think my mom started dating my dad because of Bryan Adams. I think he gave her a Bryan Adams cassette, and then I was born. Imagine that. When you love someone. But anyways, so yeah, I was obsessed with Elvis in first grade, and then when I was 11 years old, I met this guy named Roosevelt Twitty in a music store who's a real deal Texas blues man, like Lightning Hopkins, you know, all that kind of music. And that's what kind of sparked me early on and got me into music. And he became my best friend, and still my best friend to this day. And I would just go over to his house, you know, I was an 11-year-old kid, and this old blues man, and I'd sit there and we'd listen to music, and we started a band called the Blues Buddies. And we would play, like, you know, any restaurant where they'd feed us, and good times.
That's great. Leonard Skinner actually has a song, The Ballad of Curtis Lowe, just going on over to the old man's house, listening to some blues albums and sitting out on the porch.
Yeah, you know, and I'm so lucky that that was my fate, you know, because it really taught me a lot about where the music I love came from early on. You know, I was into Lightnin' Hopkins and Elmore James before I was into Jimi Hendrix, you know, and so I got an appreciation for music like this. You know, and that's kind of what got me started, and then I heard of the Black Crowes, which was all that just amplified with longer hair. Right. And I was like, oh, I like this. As I started getting older and rebellious, and then Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and I thought, well, one day I'll start smoking cigars as soon as I wake up, and I'll make a blues album and be a fisherman. But now I'm going to be young with people my age, and we're going to run around and travel the world. So here we are.
Very cool. Good for you. And I just wanted to also bring this up. I don't know if you know, and I'm sorry. Can I do it? Yeah. I meet the kid backstage and says, yeah, my name is Jeremy. And I look down, and there's a traveling case that says Jeremy Whitford. Anybody? Whitford? Yeah, thank you. Mr. Whitford of Aerosmith. So, yeah, you got some, well, I guess good genes up on stage here. This is rock and roll DNA
they really
right here.
accentuate his buttocks, those jeans that he's wearing.
Once again, enjoy the ride because you guys are on it, and I love the vibe that you're laying down with this music. Once again, if you say Lightnin' Hopkins and rock and roll and Jeff Beck and everything all in once, you've got them together. It is Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown.
Yeah, thank you very much.